A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News with me, Abrar Abid. Now to begin with, let's take a look at our headlines.
DIG Lanka Silva appears before the CID today. Australian police drops terror charges against student Mohammed Kamar Nizamdeen. Minister Rashad Badruddin says he will not let companies to increase gas prices. State Minister Ajit P. Pereira requests Minister of Justice and Prison Reforms to establish 2 special high courts.
A look at our lead story. Australian police have dropped terror charges against Mohammed Kamar Nizamdeen, a university student who was accused of an assassination plot targeting Australian politicians.
Nizamdeen, a 25-year-old PhD student, was arrested in August and accused of plotting lone wolf attacks targeting the Opera House, other notable landmarks, and the former Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull. The prosecution relied almost exclusively on a notebook police said contained details of the plot. According to Kamar's lawyers, the evidence against Nizamdeen was fundamentally flawed, and handwriting experts are unable to link the writing in the notebook to Nizamdeen. His lawyers had earlier described the case as extremely weak, almost non-existent, while successfully arguing for bail last month. Prosecutors dropped the charges and withdrew the case. Speaking outside court, Nizamdeen's lawyer Mustafa Khair flagged potential civil action over his client's treatment and said he would also apply for his legal costs and will be seeking justice for him in the New South Wales Supreme Court. Nizamdeen spent the last 4 weeks in jail before being bailed last month. He had no criminal history and he was promoted by the University of New South Wales in its advertising. A court earlier heard that no extremist material was found on his computer or his mobile phone. After he was bailed, Nizamdeen's lawyer tweeted that the police case was hopeless.
Now in more leading news, DIG Lanka de Silva arrived at the Criminal Investigation Department at around 9:30 this morning.
The DIG, who was in charge of the Terrorist Investigation Division, was interdicted over allegations surrounding the alleged assassination plot against the President and former Defense Secretary. This is his second consecutive day at the CID. He was interrogated by CID officials for close to 9 hours yesterday.
The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says a 17-hour water cut will be in effect for the Kotte municipality, Colombo 5, Colombo 7 and 8 from 12 noon today to 5 a.m. tomorrow.
A low-pressure supply of water will be in effect for Maharagama, Borlaskamua and Colombo 6 during this time period. The disruption to the supply of water is due to be essential maintenance on the supply line from Amutale to Jubilee Post.
Now in more local news, Ministry of Industry and Commerce says it will not permit gas companies to increase prices.
The ministry notes it cannot allow gas prices to increase, although global crude oil prices have increased. The decision was taken by Minister Rashad Badruddin following a meeting with Litrogas and the Consumer Affairs Authority.
Now in more local news, State Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ajit P. Pereira made a request to the Minister of Justice at a media briefing held in Colombo.
The efficiency of the Attorney General's Department and the democracy of justice and the witnesses' ability to bring forward facts with zero influence. This is all very important. The more a court case is delayed, more likely witnesses lose their facts. That is why we have brought change into the court system of this country upon request. The number of High Court judges have been increased to 110 from 75. State councils of the Attorney General's Department have been increased to 218 from 118. The allowances of court judges and the Attorney General's Department have been increased. At the same time, in order to support the cases on a day-to-day basis, we have established a method where the special court has been established to examining the general law, evidence law and the criminal cases. That is why we have requested the Minister of Justice and Prison Reforms, Salta Atukorala, to establish 2 high courts. Former President who appointed the IGP and made other appointments such as judges for the Court of Appeal High Court on his own will is now speaking about the sovereignty of the legal system.
වර්තමාන පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා අද මේ අධිකරණයේ ස්වාධීනත්වය පිළිබඳ අපට දෙන චරිත සහතිකය හරි වටිනවා.
Now, Minister of Public Administration and Management of Law and Order, Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, expressed the following views on DRG Nalaka De Silva.
We have requested the investigations to be expedited. I believe there is a considerable amount of evidence has been recorded. We will expedite the investigations and this need not to be interrupted. We don't need to do this in a rush. They have submitted the reports to courts. We only have a limited number of equipment to conduct the examination. In order to find out the erased evidence, we'll have to send this abroad.
Erase කරලා තියෙනවා. මකලා දාපු පරීක්ෂා කරන්න අපි කියමු වැඩි දුරටත් පිටරට එක යවන්න කටයුතු කරනවා.
You will have to ask from him. He is the one who is resigning, not me. Irrespective of the person, a resignation will be accepted. CID is conducting an investigation on Namal Kumara and they will produce their report to courts. Thereafter, the courts will make a decision and the facts will be produced to the Attorney General. Thereafter, legal action will be taken. There will not be any interference from the political arena.
Now finally, in our sports news, the fourth one-day international between Sri Lanka and England will take place at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium tomorrow.
The match is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. tomorrow. The Sri Lankan team engaged in a practice session today, while England's session is scheduled for this evening. Pallekele International Cricket Stadium was opened in 2009 and can host 35,000 spectators at once. Sri Lanka have played 22 of the 24 matches that have taken place at the Pallekele Stadium. Sri Lanka have won 10 times and lost 12 matches. Sri Lanka and England have met 3 times in Pallekele, with England winning 2 of them and Sri Lanka 1. Viewers can watch the match from 10 a.m. tomorrow on Sirius TV and TV1, the official broadcaster for England tour of Sri Lanka.
England Tour of Sri Lanka 2018. 5 ODI matches, only 1 T20 match and 3 Test matches. Special segments for England Tour of Sri Lanka. Live discussion at Ratmalana Stein Studio. England Tour of Sri Lanka 2018, a sports first production.
And that is all the news for this hour. Join us again at 1:55 p.m. for the latest news updates. For the News First team, I'm Abrar Abid. A very good afternoon and take care.